Welcome, everybody. This is Jonathan Budd, the founder and CEO of Power. Thank you so much for joining us on this marvelous Saturday morning, the Saturday of Labor Day. This feels like a special weekend to us because, when I reflect on, why do we have this holiday, Labor Day and Labor Day weekend, and it's really to honor and celebrate the work that we do in the world. And of course, all the work that we do, we deserve a break from time to time and some celebration. But I would submit to you, I would ask you to consider that there's certain work that we can do in the world that deserves extra celebration and extra honoring. And that's why today is so special to me, because what we have the chance to do at Power, what we're introducing you all to this morning, for all of our guests on the line, for many of our partners who are rejoining us, is the chance to do work in the world that is truly extraordinary. The chance to do work in the world that's going to alter the course of human history. It's going to alter the destiny of our species on this planet. And, we can't say that every time we show up for our day job or for this or that. Not all the work that we do is fundamentally altering the destiny of our species. But as you go through this presentation this morning, keep your ears and your eyes open to all the information, all the facts, all the trends and unbelievable education that we're going to share with you, because you truly have the chance to participate in something that just does not come around often. This is a unique, rare, special moment in history that we're all in front of. And the implications of this are life-changing, to say the least, for every single person on the line, and planetary changing for the future of our planet and species. So I want you to keep your eyes and ears and mind open. I want you to have fun. I want you to learn a lot. And by the time you get to the end of this presentation, I want you to be in the space of making a decision. Really, you're going to have all the information you need to make a decision. So you're going to either fall into one of three buckets. You're going to say, yes, I am ready to join Power. I want to change my life. I want to make some money. I want to be surrounded by this incredible positive community. I want to build a new vocation, a new business. I want freedom, time, and financial. You're going to say, I've got more questions that you need answered. And if you've got more questions, then you're going to get back to whoever referred you here. You're going to get on the phone with them, and you're going to ask your questions, and you're going to get your questions answered. And then you're going to make a decision. Or you're going to determine that this isn't the right timing, and that's okay too. And, we'll touch back in with you in 90 days or 6 months and see if it's the right timing. But you're going to fall into one of those three buckets. So my request to you on this special Labor Day weekend, when we should be reflecting about the work that we're going to do come Tuesday morning, is that you take action in one way or another. You make a decision. Do not be a procrastinator. Procrastination usually gets us nowhere in life. So with that said, we've got a special call this morning, the one and only Matthew Starsiak. I'll be introducing you to in just 1 minute. So we have a special guest. You're going to hear his incredible story. So let's dive right in. How to build a lucrative 20-year residual income disrupting the $6 trillion energy industry without any auto ships, no lotions and potions, no high startup costs, and no selling. I hope you guys are excited for this presentation. So who's this webinar for? First and foremost, I think that this webinar is for you truly if there's some sort of pain that is driving you. There's some sort of hunger that you have to change something in your life, and some sort of hunger you have for something more. In all my experience in this industry, working and coaching, thousands and thousands of people, this is what I've seen. That people who have some type of pain or hunger or desire for something drastically more in their life tend to go far in this industry, and they tend to really get a lot of value out of what we're doing. So I would ask you to consider, as you're going through this presentation tonight, what is that pain that's driving you? I mean, what is it? Is it maybe it's just this you feel like you just do not have the time fundamentally to do what you want to do in your life, and you've just been working, maybe decades, maybe years, who knows, without really experiencing that freedom, and you can't take it anymore. That's a great reason to be interested in what we're doing right now. You might be financially stressed or strapped for cash, and it just seems like no matter how hard you work, you can't get ahead, and it's time to change something. It's time to really figure out a solution for how you are going to get ahead financially. Maybe, you have, decent time and decent cash like some of our partners, but your job or your career is just sucking your soul. It's sucking the life out of you. You hate going there every morning. You hate being there every week. You don't like the people around you. It's misery, and it's sucking the soul out of you, and you just do not want to be there anymore. Or maybe you've just been stagnant in your life. Maybe you just feel like you have not really grown, that you just know there's a lot more you're capable of. You're not really learning. You're not at your edge. You're not really feeling, that feeling that we all have when we're kind of, in the right place we want to be and moving forward and learning and growing and life's exciting and exhilarating. If you've got that sort of stagnation, and then that also can be miserable. Quite honestly, I don't believe human beings are here just to be complacent with our lives. That's not the reason why life exists. I mean, we live this incredible, like odd existence where we're just one planet out of like billions of solar systems that we know of that has life. And I don't think life evolved over billions of years on this one planet in the middle of infinity just so that we can, sit around and wait to die, quite honestly. So if you're not feeling like you're living your full potential in life and surrounded by people and surrounded by ideas and surrounded by excitement that makes you jazzed and juiced up, then that's a problem, and we need to solve that problem, okay? So this is just a couple reasons why this webinar might be for you today, but I encourage you to explore more of your own. I obviously did not hit all of them. There's plenty more. But whatever the reason is why you're here today, my genuine desire is that we present to you and show you a solution that's going to show you how to solve some of these problems and really create the life and the income and the freedom and the community and the time and the purpose that you want for yourself. So whatever the reason, if there's something driving you, listen closely. Before I get into everything tonight, obviously I'm going to put our disclaimer up here. All of the examples that we present and all of the compensation we talk about and everything are clearly hypothetical examples that are just meant to illustrate for you the potential of power. We do not guarantee any income. We cannot guarantee any income. That's impossible. Every bit of income is entirely up to your own efforts, and if you do nothing, you'll make nothing. It's 100% dependent on your efforts. So just wanted to get that disclaimer out of the way. And with that said, I want to plant a few seeds for you, okay? I want you to just open up your mind and start to imagine, because sometimes, as life goes on, either early on, maybe we have influences in our life that don't really inspire us and cause us to dream about what we could do with our life, or maybe we had those influences early on, but as time went on, the economy or the working world or the people around you just kind of beat it out of you, and you stopped really dreaming, you stopped really thinking about what's possible. So a lot of what we're doing is rebuilding those muscles in people, getting them to think about what's possible again. And so I just want you to imagine something. Imagine that you were having the most fun that you ever had in business, that every day was just exhilarating and fun, and you loved to get out of bed and do what you were doing that day, and nothing felt like work. Imagine that you were meeting the coolest people you've ever met, passionate, inspired, positive, people that cared about you and cared about your success and wanted to push you to have more and do more and be more in your life. Imagine that you were transforming your life, your skills, and your mindset, the way you think about the world every single day. Imagine that you were making nice extra money on the side of whatever you were doing, right? And paying off bills and paying off these other things. And maybe even imagine that you were building a life-changing 6- or 7-figure income. And that was without any of the headaches associated with businesses of the past. No high startup costs, no managing of employees, no employee benefits, no payroll, no legal challenges that you're all responsible. None of that. But you could be building a 6- or 7-figure income without any of those headaches associated with the past. Now just imagine all of that for a second, because I doubt there's too many people that really wouldn't appreciate living that kind of life and having that kind of vocation. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Well, quite honestly, that's really what we have to offer here at Power. And I'll go back to this for a second because virtually every single bit of this is achievable. Now, obviously, the difference between making some nice extra money and paying some bills off on the side and the difference between having a 6 or 7 figure income is substantial, right? There's substantial amounts of work, energy, effort. Never for 1 second think that we're selling, oh, that this is some easy opportunity or just some thing that you're going to get to walk into. That's not what we are selling or talking about, and we would never even insult anyone's intelligence of insinuating that. To have a 6 or 7 figure income in this business, we work our tail off. But the the upside of that is it's the most fun we've ever had, and it's just the coolest business model you will ever build. And we're literally building it from the palm of our hand. And we're inside one of the most exciting industries in the world. So the results that you produce are entirely up to you. But make no mistake, no matter what stage of the game you're at, you can be having the most fun that you've ever had in business, meeting the coolest people you've ever met in business. You could be transforming your life, your skills, and your mindset, no matter what stage of the game you're at. You could be making nice extra money like hordes of our partners are doing, winning extra contests and paying bills and winning promotions and all these things. And there's now a whole a generation of Power Partners, one of them that you're going to hear from in just a moment, that are truly changing their lives financially in ways they could not have imagined in just a handful of months of participating in this business. So no matter what way you guys want to play, there's a path that we have for you, and I think that's pretty cool. So make sure you listen to the end of this presentation. We're going to give you a free gift from our president, Jim Bunch, called Financial Repair and Recovery. No matter where you're at on your financial journey, this information course is going to be able to assist you. It's really focused on teaching people the secrets of time and financial freedom, particularly how to live a 100% debt-free life. All of you who are listening who have no debt, that's amazing. This information will probably just be a great addition to what you already know. Any of you who have debt, it's probably going to be even more amazing. So you can learn how to pay off any and all debts as fast as possible. And really, you're also going to learn the secrets of the top 1% to building new beliefs, to developing new self-images, to building more financial confidence in the everyday of your life. So stick around to the end of the webinar, and I will give you a link so that you can download this course for free. And this is one of the flagship courses from our president, Jim Bunch. He's taught tens of thousands of people happiness, health, and wealth over the course of his life, and you'll get a lot out of this course. So make sure you listen to the end. So, but first, before we get into the content today, you might be asking, why should I listen? And it's at this point that I'd really like to introduce you to a man, Matthew Starsiak. And I think, Matt's story is one of the most compelling reasons for why you probably want to listen to everything we're going to say that I could offer up to you today. So, Matt, are you with us?
I am, Jonathan.
Hey, good to hear your voice, my friend. Good to hear your voice. Well, thank you so much, buddy, for joining us on a Saturday morning. I know you have a lot you could be doing right now, and there's a lot happening in your life and business, so we all really appreciate you being here. Before we sort of get started, I think for all the people who have never met you, who are listening the first time, it'd be really valuable for them to hear, why did you join Power? What's your quick story of your background and why you joined Power?
So thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate the introduction, and it's a pleasure to speak to all of you, and it's a pleasure to be here. Jonathan was saying how much fun this is, and I'll say there's no place else I'd rather be. I'm having so much fun. But just a quick backstory for those of you that don't know me. 24-year Marine Corps veteran, just retired last year. While I spent my time in the Marine Corps, there was a lot of time overseas that I had a lot of friends that didn't come back from, the different things that we did overseas, for the past 10, 12 years. And so I decided I'm going to do everything I can to get us off fossil fuels. That was my personal vision and goal. So I I built a company called AMK Energy Services, which installs solar farms and wind farms in 37 different countries around the world. Solar farms, hydroelectric dams, basically everything energy related. Well, I knew some people that introduced me to a new program that was being rolled out in January of this year, and went down to the launch in Hollywood, and got to meet just great individuals, Jonathan, Jim, Bobby, the whole great team, and I was just amazed by what they showed me. The incredible experience of a platform that made it so easy that every person, that could be a doctor, a lawyer, could be anybody. They could be a solar professional, because all they have to say is, "Hey, you want to see how much you can save on your electric bill?" And I was just blown away by it. So I went out and started, talking to people, and it's been just a wonderful journey. I mean, I have now, it's after the few months that I've been spending doing this, I have over 500 people, just great partners, great leaders that I enjoy talking to every day. I have a great income, over 20,000 in the last 60 days, and I honestly can say that I enjoy every day thinking about it and getting ready to get up and talk to more people. And how often can you be in a business that changes the world, helps people by putting money in their pocket? You're not asking them for a check. You're saying, "Hey, I want to save you money today. I'm going to show you something that's going to save you money, and you're going to help the environment." That's something that just amazing. And Jonathan Budd, that you're hearing right now, is really the incredible visionary that was able to put this into place. So my hat's off to you, Jonathan, and really appreciate the opportunity to be able to share these systems with people across the United States.
Oh, my friend, my hat's off to you. It's amazing every day what this team is creating, and every single person that joins Power really adds an additional contribution to the company, an additional flavor, and we just get stronger and stronger and stronger as a company, as a movement. And my hat's just really off to you, Matthew. I think your why, one of the things I would submit to everybody, we started talking about in the beginning, what is that thing that's driving you? Really, what's that pain? What's that hunger you have? And you're such a great example, Matt, of how, when you really clarify, your reason why, and what's truly most important to you in the world, it just makes you unstoppable. And your why for joining this business, your desire to see our country move to a more free, nationally secure country, where we are in charge of our energy independence, and we're not relying on Middle Eastern countries and other countries all over the world for how we get our energy. That's just going to make a safer world. It's just going to make a better America. It's going to save lives. And that's just one aspect of what we do that's changing the world. And there's so many other aspects of what we're doing. I mean, I could spend 60 minutes just going into the ripple effect across society for what's going to happen as the world moves to solar energy. And that's why we were talking about Labor Day weekend and celebrating the work we do in the world. And I'm telling you guys, you will never love any industry that you're a part of as much as solar energy. You just won't. When you get into the industry of solar and renewables, it is just the most extraordinary feeling to know that every day when you get up and you work on your business and you're building your life and building your business, that there's a ripple effect happening across the entire planet that's going to affect generation after generation after generation to come. So Matthew, you are the example for that. What else would you want to share with everybody about, what your experience has been so far? And particularly, before we get into the 7 conversations, which I know we'll be doing together, how simple is our business? I mean, what do you really see as what it takes to succeed in this business?
That's a great question, Jonathan, and I appreciate the opportunity to be able to say that. So for me, it was all about just reaching out to people. It was all about letting them know how much they can save, and the fact that most people would have no idea that the government is subsidizing these systems, that they're making it so easy for people to receive a no money down, no out-of-pocket expense system. I run into people every day that that say, hey, you know what, you never get anything for nothing. There's always got to be a catch. And so it's perfect because I just say, okay, great. Well, do you own a home? Do you have over a $60 electric bill? Well, what's your zip code? Well, here, I'm going to introduce you to somebody that's going to kind of talk about the system a little bit. And then I just take them to the Solar City hotline and put their information in the back office, and there's just another lead. So it's just amazing at how simple you've made it, because with that video that you put out, that 11-minute opportunity video, if that doesn't tell somebody, what would? I mean, that is really all I do, is just share that video with people. And they either, like you said in the beginning, Jonathan, they either love it and they're like, hey, this is what I've been looking for. I can work with the largest, best solar company in the world. I can get 20-year residuals. I can work with great people, make a great income. Yeah, this is for me. Or they're like, hey, let me think about it. Let me do some more research, and I'll get back to you, which they always do. Or they're like, hey, you know what? This just isn't for me. I'd rather have a 150 grand salary a year and something guaranteed. And, in that case, you just say, okay, no problem. Well, give me a call if you ever have any questions, or, you change your mind. And you're just planting seeds. And as you plant those seeds, they're forests that are just going to grow, and you're going to be able to harvest for many weeks and months down the road. And that's what you have to look at it like. You're sharing something that can change people's lives. You're just planting the seed, and whether that seed grows up and does something great today, or whether it's in a week, or whether it's in a month, or whether it's a year, it doesn't really matter. It's a fun thing to share. So I can't think of anything that's been more simple. I've done a lot of businesses, and what's really important here is if you decide that you're going to do something, if you decide and in your mind you see it being successful, it doesn't matter what business you're in, you're going to be successful. And that's a key that everybody has to understand. And you've heard Jim Bunch, you've heard Bobby, you've heard Jonathan say it over and over again. You have to visualize and see yourself being successful, and you will. So the people that I've seen that are most successful are the ones that have already decided that they're gonna get that Tesla S Series car. They're just going to keep working until they get those 200 installs in a month, and that's going to be their vision. I was just talking to Steve Spry yesterday, one of Katie's people that just, great team member, just like Katie is, and, many of the great leaders that I have. And we were just talking about that. It's like, if you can see it in your mind, it's going to happen. And this business makes it more simple than any other business I've ever been involved with. I've been successful in many businesses, but this one is just absolutely incredible how simple it is just to share this video, talk to people, answer their questions. Why wouldn't they sign up? I mean, $4.99, most people spend that in a couple nights out in the town. I know I do. When I go out and, go see one show in Vegas and go see David Copperfield, that's it, $500, 3 of us going out. So when you can get into a business, do a franchise, and share solar across 23 states for that amount of money, one-time payment, you'll never find anything like that again. Or the opportunity to share something that you're not asking for somebody for a check, or to have the largest solar company in the world as your partner. You'll never find that again. And you're at the beginning and just at the right place at the right time. So that's my 2 cents, Jonathan.
You are hearing it from one of the individuals who's out there making it happen as we speak. And what's so amazing about this, Matthew, is I know what's about to happen to your life. And it's just, if this has just been the teaser. This has been the 60-second trailer to the main feature that's about to happen. So get ready for the ride of a lifetime, my friend. And what's so amazing is that ride is barely just beginning. And all of the most successful leaders and the biggest teams and the biggest checks and the people who are really going to take this company from 2,400 partners, which is where it is now, to 240,000 partners, none of them have joined yet. You may be that person right now who's listening. You may be the person who introduces us to the person that. So, I mean, it's just extraordinary what you are all in front of. So I want you to pay close attention, because an opportunity to partner with the world's leading solar energy company, to be positioned in front of a multi-trillion-dollar transfer of wealth, to build a life-changing 20-year residual income, When have you ever had the chance to build a 20-year residual income, unless you're a movie star working off royalties, and to save the future of our planet? This does not happen often, ladies and gentlemen. It just does not happen often. So pay close attention, because the 7 power conversations that we're about to go into is everything you need to know to change your life, change the world, and to do something that matters in a significant and historical way. So let's get into the 7 conversations. Conversation number 1 is climate change. You've heard us talk a lot already about the impact of power and why this work is so important. You just listened to Matthew talk about why he made the decision after spending 24 years in the Marine Corps to make sustainable energy his biggest goal in life, his priority in life, for the national security of our country, for the lives of the men and women who are fighting for our country. But one of the things that's also incredibly important that we need to talk about is what's actually happening to our climate. And this graph that you're looking at on the right, this is the very famous Keeling curve. In the 1950s, a very famous scientist, Keeling, was the first person to really start to measure the amount of carbon in the atmosphere. And he thought, he was the first to think, we're evaporating the world's coal mines, we're burning all this carbon. I wonder what's happening in our atmosphere. Is this carbon actually accumulating in our atmosphere? So in 1956, Keeling started measuring it. And what we discovered is that since the industrial age, when we started burning fossil fuels, we've actually been on a meteoric rise to the amount of carbon that's in the atmosphere, to the point where we've actually doubled every single molecule of carbon in the last 150 years that was there naturally. We've doubled it. So we've now increased the amount of carbon in the atmosphere almost double in the span of 100 years. Why is that significant? Well, carbon is a heat-trapping gas. CO2 traps heat. That's what it does. So as light from the sun penetrates our atmosphere and it passes through carbon, the CO2 molecule literally traps that light. It holds on to it. So less light is able to get back to space, which light is a form of heat. So this is why, by studying this steadily, increasing amount of carbon in the atmosphere, we've been able to also see that the planet has now warmed 1 degree Celsius just in the last 100 years. Well, 1 degree Celsius may not sound like a lot. Unfortunately, that's not the case. 1 degree Celsius has already been enough to melt half of all of the world's ice sheets. Half of all the ice that exists on the planet has melted in the last 100 years because of that 1 degree Celsius temperature change. Which also, okay, well, big deal. What about the ice melting? Well, it just so happens that the melting of half of the world's polar ice caps is already going to lead to a world where by the end of this century, sea level rise is predicted to be somewhere along the scope of 3 to 9 meters. That's 3 to 9 meters, which effectively means that much of the world's coastal populations will need to relocate within the span of this century. We don't have any idea how we're going to deal with the population displacement of 40% of the world's population. Over 40% of the population lives at sea level today. That's just one example of what this is going to do to our world. Come to find out, there's other challenges. That carbon that we're burning and dumping into the atmosphere, also about 25 to 30% of it falls back into our oceans. And as it falls back into our ocean, something happens called ocean acidification. When carbon falls into the ocean, it actually acidifies the ocean. So we're actually turning our oceans too acidic for life. And so many of you may have turned on the news and watched that we've had historic coral bleaching, that the Great Barrier Reef is literally disappearing in front of our eyes, that coral all over the world is dying because it cannot live in acidic environments, that the plankton is dying because it cannot live in acidic environments. So the very bottom of the food chain is literally being turned, is being disintegrated because it's too acidic for it to survive. and that's going to affect the entire ocean ecosystem, kick back up to us. If life in the ocean can't survive, we're in pretty deep trouble. So everything that we're looking at, from population displacement to sea level rise to the crazy storms to global droughts to global climate change with how we produce our food. You've seen the historic droughts all over the Middle East. In Egypt, they talk all about these riots and happening as if it's political, but much of it is actually fueled by the fact that they can't grow crops and they have massive food shortages and bread shortages. All of this is interconnected, and we are barely even scratching the surface of what's going to happen. And this is why Navy Admiral Rear Herring was the first one to say that the greatest threat to national security around the world is climate change. Because if you think 1 million refugees is bad and is a problem for terrorism, imagine 1 billion. Imagine 1 billion people with no place to live, no home to go to, no food to eat. That's the future that we're heading into unless we rapidly scale back the amount of carbon that we're emitting into the atmosphere and set our planet on a path to true sustainability, prosperity, and how we produce energy and food and water. And it's no joke, ladies and gentlemen. It is no joke. If we do not fix this problem, then the world that our children and grandchildren are going to grow up into is an unbelievably more harsh world than we grew up into. And I don't know about you, but I don't feel good about myself getting out of bed every morning and putting my head in the pillow every night, knowing that the actions I took in the world, being a consumer of all these products and all of this pollution, quite honestly, actually left this planet a more terrible place than I was given by the previous generations before me. That's unacceptable. I won't accept that. There's a lot of people, unfortunately, out there who don't care, but I care, and the people of power care. And every single day we get up and we get out of bed and we do this work in a large part because we care, and because it's so darn meaningful, and because it's actually going to impact the planet for centuries to come. So I could actually talk about this for a long time, but I don't want us to, stay there. There's actually a lot of hope. As much damage as we've done, we have all of the technology, we have all of the solutions to radically shift our world off of fossil fuels right now and create an entirely new paradigm for how we can produce energy. An entirely new paradigm that's truly going to change the fabric of society, the lives of millions of people, and really set our planet on a path to sustainability and prosperity. And what that solution is sustainable energy. And just over the last 12 months, we've seen absolutely unbelievable announcements in the field of sustainable energy. We've seen the United Nations pass a landmark climate treaty. 195 countries came together and agreed that we needed to shift our world off of fossil fuels as fast as possible. It's the largest United Nations treaty in history, where every country committed to lowering emissions and preventing temperature rise above 2 degrees Celsius by the end of the century, and committing to timelines and deliverables and all these things, which basically set in stone that we are moving to sustainable energy, that trillions of dollars is going to flow into this marketplace, which every entrepreneur on the line should be ridiculously excited about. We saw Congress pass a bill that extended the tax credits for another 5 years. So the 30% federal tax credit on solar energy just got extended for an additional 5 years, which means hundreds of billions of dollars of additional capital is going to flow into this industry that wouldn't have otherwise had it. We've seen entire cities like San Diego and New Jersey commit to being entirely renewable energy in the span of 2 decades. I mean, how amazing is all of this? And it's really just getting started. So the solutions are at our fingertips. Policy is being enacted. And, Matt, maybe this is one of the things that you should talk about, because, a lot of times people wonder, well, how is this happening? And, they don't, people haven't connected the dots that sustainable energy and solar energy in specific, the reason why this is happening, the reason why it's exploding across the world today is actually because it just continues to get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper because it's a technology. So Matt, maybe you want to share with everybody who hasn't thought of this before, just what's happened in the solar industry over the last few decades, and specifically to the cost of solar, that's just enabled this radical explosion across the world.
Absolutely. So that's a huge factor into why we're able to offer these systems the way we do. The many investors out there, green energy investors, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, you've heard of all of them talking about this multi-trillion-dollar transfer of wealth, the biggest transfer of wealth in history, and it's all due to the lowering cost of solar, the fact that it can be produced so cheaply now compared to what it was, 5, 10, even a couple of years ago. It's getting so incredibly cheap that it just makes sense. And then when the government stepped in, the government realized, hey, there's some real changes that are occurring within our climate, within the actual world we live in. That helped in huge ways. We saw this in Hawaii. I lived in Hawaii for 3 years, and their fuel bills to ship oil, because they have to ship oil over there. They don't have the natural gas resources and coal or nuclear or other things that other people are using. So their electrical bills are astronomical. But everybody was going to solar. I mean, it was just the end thing. You had solar on your house if you could, and it got so popular that the grid got saturated. They were actually turning people away, and the utilities were saying, hey, we can't support right now your ability to go solar on the grid because of everybody trying to get on at the same time. So we heard earlier, and Jonathan was talking in an earlier conversation about how around the world it's becoming so incredibly popular. Everybody understands that we have to get off fossil fuels for our national security, for the health of the environment. But it's becoming so popular just on a social scale that in Japan you have people that are actually putting plastic rectangular sheets on their roofs, even if they can't afford solar, because they don't want to be one of those people that don't have it. It's kind of like having an iPhone or having some status symbol, a certain type of clothing or whatever it might be. People understand that they want to be part of this movement, and this is just starting here in the United States, and we're on the tip of that iceberg. Just as this avalanche is beginning across the U.S., one of the last countries that is really excited about it, we're positioned perfectly to take advantage of that. So you couldn't be in a better place and better time to take advantage of this huge change that's occurring right in front of our eyes.
It's truly amazing. Good. That was beautifully said, my friend. Beautifully said. And I think as we, share the rest of this presentation too, if you've ever had any questions or needed to understand why is this going to be the next great exponential trend, how are we going to see trillions of dollars shift literally in the span of a few decades, probably less. The rest of this presentation is going to lay it out so clearly. So, obviously there's some major challenges we need to solve in the world with how we produce energy. Sustainable energy is the #1 solution, and we've got all the technology, all the resources, all the tools. So who's the #1 player? Well, currently the global leader in residential solar energy is a company called SolarCity. They are a $6 billion company that was founded by Lyndon Rives, Peter Rives, and their cousin Elon Musk. So these guys are the 800-pound gorilla in sustainable energy today. They're actually bigger than the next 64 competitors combined. They're public, they're on Wall Street, and they've installed over 300,000 U.S. homes already. In fact, 1 out of every 3 solar systems that gets installed in the country is installed by SolarCity. And the product that is really driving the exponential growth of solar energy across the nation right now is zero down solar. And this is the big, complete mindset shift for people that to have. It's that You know, in the past, you might have thought of solar energy as expensive or a hassle or something like that, but that is just absolutely false. It's just not true anymore. Today, solar energy is actually the cheapest, the easiest, and the best, most effective way to get your energy. And it costs absolutely nothing up front. Nobody comes out of pocket any money to go solar today. So you're actually looking at a real example, a real quote for one of our customers in San Diego. So they had zero upfront cost whatsoever. They came out of pocket absolutely nothing. They were spending 32 cents per kilowatt to buy their power from SDG&E. Their new Solar City cost was 15 cents a kilowatt. So they are literally saving over 50% on every single kilowatt that they buy from us versus their utility, okay? This was their bill before solar, it was $263, and this is their bill after solar, it's $180. Now solar is in fact only covering a portion of their energy bill here, but because that portion that we cover, they're getting over a 50% discount on all the electricity they buy. They're going to save 32% off their bill day number one, which adds up to $1,000 a year. Now, how many people do you know don't want to put an extra $1,000 a year back in their pocket? And of course, this is going to be different for every home. Obviously, this is for a home in San Diego. But the quick skinny, if you look at the value proposition of solar today, is, and when we go and we talk about this to our customers, who in their right mind would not have a 30-minute consultation with Solar City to see if they can save thousands of dollars, in some cases tens of thousands of dollars, without it costing them a dime up front, and increase the value of their home thousands of dollars, and control their energy bills, and finally actually have control of that versus being rate hiked and jacked by the utility over and over and over again. I mean, just imagine that for a second. If you had the chance to lock in the rate that you paid for gasoline back in 1991, when you were paying $1 a gallon for gas, and you could have locked that rate in forever, who would not have done that? We all know that the cost of energy is not going to go down. It's not gone down ever in human history, ever. Ever since energy has existed, it's cost more and more and more and more and more. Solar actually gives you the ability to lock in a rate so that you never have to pay more, not pay any money up front, and save money instantly off your electric bill. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, that's why when we're talking about $1 trillion opportunity, the world does not know this. As we get out there and we educate people, hey, did you know you could save money, lock in a rate, and have it cost you nothing day one? And all you need to do is look at it in a free 30-minute consultation. It could be worth thousands of dollars to you. That's why this is a ridiculous opportunity right now. And Matthew, I mean, you see this every day, so maybe you could shed some light. I mean, how do you actually see people responding to this product, and how easy is it to talk about and make money from?
Yeah, that's a good point, Jonathan. It couldn't be any easier to walk up to somebody and say exactly what you said. Hey, I know people that have saved $20,000-$30,000 on their electric bill over 20 years. Who wouldn't, spend 15-20 minutes on a phone call just to find out, just out of curiosity, what they could save. Maybe they don't even get it, but to us, our concern is to bring that person to Solar City, to at least give them the opportunity to listen about what they could save. Maybe they don't care about the environment. Maybe it's just a money thing. Maybe they don't care about the money part. They just care about the environment, and it's not about saving money. There's so many different reasons why somebody would sign up and listen to a pre-proposal and be part of this, and our job is just to let them know that they have the opportunity, because most people don't. To be honest, I mean, how many times have you talked to somebody and they said, oh yeah, I know about this power thing. Oh yeah, I know who Solar City is, and I know what they're doing, and I know how the government's subsidizing these systems. That conversation happens very, very rarely, I found. If you ask 500 people, you might find one that would say something like that. So we're on the precipice. We're in the chance to share something that nobody knows about. Will it be this easy in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? I don't think so. I think the fact that you're here now, being able to share this is a huge, huge advantage. And, you know, looking back, when you look back on this in 2 or 3 years, you'll be very, very happy you joined. If you didn't, in 2 or 3 years, I almost guarantee you, you'll wish you had. You'll wish you'd taken advantage of it. Look at all the other type of marketing opportunities, whether multi-level marketing or direct sales. I'm not a multi-level marketing person. Never been in one. I never will be again, just because I'm not going to sell things to friends and family, you know, lotions and potions and all that stuff. But if you would have taken advantage of Avon or ACN or any of those multi-level marketing organizations at their beginning, well, you all know what have happened, and you've heard of, in Utah, there's more than anywhere else I've seen. You know, it's the MLM headquarters of the world, where I know people that are making $15, $20 million a year that are living only a few blocks down from me. And very, very lucrative business model. But you'll never find one like this where you're actually helping the environment and not charging them anything to, you know, no money down, not asking them for a check to participate in this. So that's why I think, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Yeah, buddy. When you start putting all the things together and you look at the impact, you look at the product, you recognize that this is a product that is going to sweep the nation. The time has come. You know, that's a great segue into the business model, which really is what we do, direct sales. Now, if you were to add up the NFL, the music industry, and the entertainment industry combined, it did not produce more revenue than the direct selling industry produced in 2013. Okay, this industry produces over $180 billion a year of revenue from all sorts of products and services. It pays out over $70 billion a year to partners of companies. So think about this. Every single day, over $200 million in commissions is paid out to people just like you, just like Matthew, just like me, for talking about things that we're passionate about. $200 million a day. This is an incredibly proven industry. And when you start putting 2 and 2 together, we're the first company to actually bring zero down solar and create the category of solar energy inside this proven business model of direct sales. So you are at the precipice of so many category creating opportunities that when you really wrap your mind around this, you know, the possibilities are truly unlimited, which makes us talk about the money. How do we actually make money? How does the money work? So I want you to just, you know, consider that this business is so simple. Okay, there's no reason to overcomplicate it. The only thing we ever do is we refer free solar proposals to the #1 solar company in the world, and we teach other people to do the same. That's it. That's this entire business. If you can say, hey, have you ever thought about getting a free solar proposal to see if you could save thousands of dollars without it costing you anything to somebody, and teaching somebody else to do that exact same thing, guess what? You can build a part-time or full-time income in this business. So let me walk you through what the money actually looks like, because it's important for everybody to have an understanding as you commit to this business model and decide, hey, I'm going to go build something extraordinary for myself. What's that actually look like? So again, this is a hypothetical example. We're not guaranteeing any income, and things never work out the way it does on a hypothetical example. Some people are going to refer 5 people, some people refer 10 people, some people refer 1 people or 2 people, some people refer 100 people, okay? But if you were just to look at this example, I think we could all agree that over the course of the next year of our life, we could probably refer 5 people to this business, right? We could find 5 people who watch this presentation who are at the time in their life where they want to do something, you know, different and make a change and create more freedom. And, you know, out of those 5 people that we refer, we can all probably agree that we can also find 5 homeowners that are probably interested in a free consultation to see how much money they could save by going solar, right? So if we just did that, and 1 out of 5 of those homeowners actually went solar because they saved a bunch of money, etc. So if that's all you did, right, is each partner talked to 5 homeowners and 1 out of 5 actually went solar. None of that is unreasonable. It's all completely reasonable. If that duplicated just 6 generations in the Power Pay plan, you'd actually be making $18,530.50 per month residually for the next 20 years. That's a 20-year guaranteed residual income. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I've never heard of another model on the planet unless you have royalties because you made some blockbuster film that's going to pay you residually for the next 20 years. Every single day, we all get up and we all go to work and we put our time and we put our energy somewhere. Most of that energy, we're trading time for dollars. If we put energy in, we get some dollars back. I've never seen a business model where you can put energy in today and that energy has the potential to pay you for the next 20 years. But when you build a power business, that's what's happening. You have the ability to get paid for the next 20 years. Not only that, but we have innovated what we call the lab bonus, the lead acquisition bonus. We're the first company to roll out this lead acquisition bonus inside the solar industry, such that when you help enroll a new partner on your team and you train them to submit their first 3 qualified leads to Solar City, you actually get a bonus. You get a lead acquisition bonus every time that happens. So if you look at this, as you reach really the first rank of success in our plan, senior partner, you can override $125 every time you train a new partner to submit 3 qualified leads, and between $50 to $75 on all the new partners joining your team. When you meet a couple more requirements and get the game changer, which is the first real significant position in our pay plan where you start to make a lot more money, you're overriding $250 off every partner that you enroll who submits 3 qualified leads, and between $100 and $175 off all the people in your team, and it just keeps going. So literally, this bonus can pay you to infinity just off people submitting qualified leads in your team, which means you can make money today, right now, off all the lead generation activities in your team as your 20-year residual bonus accrues for tomorrow. So that's just a brief glimpse into how the Power Pay Plan can literally work for you today to make the kind of money Matthew's making as he's building his 20-year residual check for tomorrow. So if you add all of this up, ladies and gentlemen, what you see is an extraordinary opportunity to solve one of the planet's biggest challenges. The ability to be part of a technological shift to sustainable energy that's going to change the world in drastic ways. A partnership with the #1 solar energy company in the world, which is on the other end of that mobile phone every single time you submit a lead. The chance to represent a revolutionary product, zero down solar, and help people save money without it costing them any money out of pocket and switching to solar energy. The chance to be the first direct selling company in history of a $180 billion a year industry that you have the chance to be pioneering. An extraordinarily simple business model where we just refer people to get a free solar proposal and teach other people to do the same. If you factor all of this together, what you have is the magic formula for how people truly can achieve extraordinary results in life, and it's timing. It's timing. You have to be positioned in front of a wave. You have to have timing on your side to create those types of results, and we are getting ready to enter into the mass adoption of solar energy. Matthew, maybe you want to talk about that for a second. Hey, did I lose you, buddy?
No, I'm here, Jonathan. I was just on mute, and the phone went to sleep. So, it was yeah, just like Jonathan said, just an incredible money-making opportunity is ahead of you. And I'm firsthand can say it. As those residuals are building up, you have so many opportunities in this company to make great money, to make the lead acquisition bonuses that are designed to make sure that you have money coming in up front. And it's all dependent on your work. Just like at the very beginning when Jonathan said, it depends on what you do. It depends on what the work that you put into this. Nobody's guaranteed income. But if you reach out and you share people that video and you show it to them and you talk to them about it, they're going to sign up. I get a person or two every day that signs up. And it's a pure numbers game. There's people out there right now that are looking for the opportunity. and it's up to you to find ways of finding them. That's really what this is all about. And they make sure, I mean, Jonathan, Bobby, and Jim make sure that there's plenty of bonuses out there for you. If you're a go-getter and you can see this and you enjoy doing it, people can tell on the phone if you enjoy doing this. If you've heard that many times. If you're smiling, people can tell. If you're upset and you're stressed out, people are going to be able to tell that when you're talking to them. So one of the keys for me has been just, you tell people, hey, if you like the video, give me a call and I'll help you sign up. And I do that because I wanted to make sure that they know it's not a pressure thing. They know it's just, whether they sign up or not, it's not going to change my financial life. It's not going to, make a huge difference on impact financially for me. It will for them, but it won't for me. Now, the reason I do it is because I enjoy watching people succeed. I enjoy watching people start to build up teams. I could go over all the great leaders that I have on my team and watching them as they went to senior partner, national partner, and getting ready for game changer. That to me is exciting. Just like in the Marine Corps, when you're mentoring a young lieutenant, you're seeing them with his platoon, and you see them go up in the ranks, and you're kind of giving them advice on how to do this or how to do that. That's really what the joy of leadership is. It's serving those people you work with. And this business opportunity gives so many opportunities for you to do that and makes it so lucrative. They go out of their way to give you money. And just like this program today, just Jonathan and Jim saying, hey, we're going to give you $200 if someone signs up. I immediately went out, and when I heard that, I emailed all the people that I knew, the distros of, 500 people, that I have that are thinking about it. And I said, hey, I'll give you, you're going to have $200 today if you sign up. That's going to make your price $299. I'm just going to give you that $200. I take advantage of every marketing opportunity that Power has, and I immediately go out to people with it. And that way, you can continue to reach out to them and share this great opportunity with them. So that's just one of the strategies I use.
It's awesome, my friend. You have you're definitely an inspiring leader for everybody who has the great fortune to be part of your team, and you're hitting the nail on the head in a lot of ways. And the last point that I'll sort of make to everybody before we head into the close of this presentation today is that just imagine for a second that it took 40 years for 1 million homes to go solar, and it's going to take 2 years for another 1 million homes to go solar. So just imagine that you're positioned in front of that kind of growth. That's exponential growth from 40 years to 2 years, and we're only a couple years away from there being millions of homes a year that are going solar, and then tens of millions of homes around the world that are going solar. And the sun doesn't just shine in America. If you've ever envisioned having an international business that you can control from the palm of your hand, making money anywhere the sun shines, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is the time to dig in and really become part of this team and learn from all of the great leaders of this company, of which, Matthew, you are one of the best, and really dig in and go to work, and let's go change the world and create something extraordinary. So I'm sure some of you are asking, this sounds amazing, but can I do this? And it's a great question to ask, can I do this? And my answer to you is, of course you can. And I want you to remember that there's only 2 things that we ever do, okay? We refer free, zero-down solar proposals. And we will show you how to become amazing at referring free, zero-down solar proposals. We have tons of training on it. We talk about it all the time. And the second thing we do is we teach others to do the same. And the way we do that is just by showing a video. So if you can refer a free, zero-down solar proposal and you can show a video, then guess what? You can do this business and you can master it. Not only that, but Power has actually focused on solving challenges that have stopped people from growing their business in the past. So our company's actually created a game-changing new lead co-op that any Power partner can participate in to get endless, fresh, high-quality leads for their business. So we can talk to you about that, but if you've ever wanted leads just sent straight to your inbox that you can call to grow your business, guess what? We've got a co-op for that. We also invest heavily in teaching everyone leadership skills, business skills, personal growth skills, and all the specific skills that you need to thrive in this business through our leveled up and proprietary leadership training program, which we're actually relaunching another version of next week. It's going to be even more kick butt than the one we already have. We've also developed the most state-of-the-art cutting-edge marketing tools that any of us have ever seen in the $180 billion direct sales industry. It's called Power Press, and we leverage the 1.7 billion people on Facebook to provide you an endless source of traffic and prospects and leads, and we train you every month on how to succeed doing that. So our company is really giving everyone the tools that you need to go out there and knock this business out of the park. So the second that you say, yes, I want to do it, and you commit, guess what? We're giving you all the tools you need to go win in a massive way, and tons of people are already doing it. So there's never been a better time, ever, to position yourself in front of the solar energy trend within this proven business model of direct sales without any of the hassles of the past. There truly hasn't. So it makes sense for us to talk just a little bit about what you get when you join. So first, you get a license to Power's proprietary business platform. This is integrated with SolarCity's $6 billion infrastructure, and instantly, I mean, if you were to try to start a solar business on your own, it would cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. You'd have to have franchise fees, you'd have to pay for, guys on the phone, installers. If you wanted to be a solar entrepreneur, you would literally spend $500,000, probably at a minimum, to start a local solar business. You get a national solar business that you operate from the palm of your hand when you join Power, which we consider a minimum of a $20,000 value. We're going to train you through our partner certification course on everything that it takes to succeed in this business. We're going to give you all the training, the tools, the vision, the education, the knowledge. We consider that a $297 value. We're going to give you your own automated Power business website, which we even just made more upgrades to yesterday that we released. So your own page where you can send somebody to watch the video and sign up, all automated. Your own solar page, so if you want to send somebody and learn all about solar energy and how it works and watch a video and request a free quote from SolarCity, we give all of that to you automated, your entire own business website. So we consider that an $1,800 value at $360 a year times 5 years. If you were to add all of this up, it's over $22,000 in value, and that is actually just the beginning, because we threw in a couple bonuses. So one of the bonuses that we threw in is the year-long mastery program from our president, Jim Bunch. This is one of the world's foremost leaders and coaches. He's been teaching tens of thousands of people for over the last 2 decades, and he has a program called Mastery, which is $6,000 a year. Well, every single Sunday evening, Jim's going to teach you in our personal power program just like he does in his Mastery program. So it's a $6,000 a year value to get transformational business coaching, leadership, and if you talk to the Power Partners who attend his sessions, it'll blow your mind the value that we're offering. Plus, we have a private Facebook coaching group. So every day you can get the latest tips and strategies and energy, enthusiasm. If you factor all of this up, it's over $28,000 in value that you get when you join Power for just $499, which truly, if you think about it, for less than $500 to have a business at the forefront of one of the fastest growing trends and industries in the world, all of the training, coaching, and tools that you need to succeed, the support of all these people around you, thousands of people cheering you on every day, teaching you, educating you, motivating you, helping you, it's ridiculous. If you ever wanted to knock something out of the park and really solve that pain, that challenge, that hunger that brought you here today to learn about us, to be learning from us, now is the time, my friends. So request the link from whoever invited you here ASAP to join. Get the link. This is the weekend to join. This is the time to join. We will launch you out of the gates like you would not believe for this fall season when we all come back from Labor Day and celebrating and this and that and everything we're doing. We're going to knock it out of the park. So whoever invited you here, hit them with a text right now. Call them, say, hey, send me the link so that I can join ASAP. Couple more thoughts I want to share with you guys before we wrap up. Now, obviously, every single one of us has disposable income. Every single day, we're basically blowing our disposable income on something, whether it's going out shopping, whether it's clothes in our closet, whether it's, fancy meals or movies or little trinkets around the house. Obviously, we know none of that stuff is a necessity. None of it, right? It's disposable income. Well, I'd like you to consider the difference between wealthy people and poor people for just 1 second. Poor people invest in what we call liabilities, things that never have the chance to make them any more money. When you invest in a liability, that money's gone and it's gone forever and it's never going to make you more money. Okay, that's what most poor people do. Wealthy people invest in assets. Wealthy people invest in things that have the chance to make them more money. That's the difference between wealthy people and poor people. Poor people invest in liabilities. Wealthy people invest in assets. So just think, if you took the disposable income that you're going to blow no matter what this month, and instead of investing it in all those liabilities that are never going to net you anything, you invest it in an asset, power, that could net you everything. A different life, more time, more freedom, more finances, a new network, a new community, new skills, new thinking, new beliefs. It's ridiculous to even consider why somebody wouldn't do this. If you really understand everything we're sharing today and you're actually thinking about it, there's no reason in the world not to take your disposable income right now and put it into power so that you can learn, grow, and succeed at everything you really want to do in life. So our goal is to launch your business and get you profitable as fast as possible. Within 24 hours of joining, we'll help you earn your first $75 just by submitting 3 qualified leads to Solar City. So literally, you can earn $75 in your first 24 hours just by submitting 3 qualified leads to Solar City. So that's our goal. And after that, we'll walk you step by step on how to launch your team and be off to the races, earning 20-year residuals on every customer and lucrative lab bonuses just from the leads. So what if you only made enough money every month to cover your cell phone bill, your car bill, or your mortgage? I want you to ask yourself, would that still be worth it? What if your earnings from Power only became your family vacation fund, and you took every dollar you made and you just put it in a little fund, and that's how your family went on vacation every year? Would that be worth it? What if you just grew your network and you met some of the most amazing, passionate, entrepreneurial people who became relationships that you had for life? Seriously, would that be worth it? What if you just grew your skill sets and your mindset from Jim Bunge's incredible mastery program, and you actually became a better entrepreneur at whatever you're doing now, and just more skilled in life at whatever you're doing now? Would that be worth it? And I want you to ask yourself, what if you told a handful of people about the most purposeful, exciting, and lucrative opportunities to enter direct sales in decades, and you earned 20 years of residual income from thousands of solar customers, and you achieved time and financial freedom because of it? Now ask yourself, would that be worth it? Ladies and gentlemen, in our lifetime, we either get one of two things. We get excuses or we get results, but you do not get both. So you're either going to make excuses for why you can't do this and blah, 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 and you're going to have the exact same life you have today, so I hope it's the one you want, or you're going to get results, but you don't get both. So my suggestion to you is you let go of all your excuses for why you can't do this and actually get results, get money. Because if you don't let go of those excuses, you're never going to change your life, you're never going to create something different, and you're never going to get the results that you're truly looking for. So ask the person who invited you to this webinar right now to send you their link so that you can join. There's no reason to procrastinate. There's no reason to delay. You're going to get nothing out of that. If you've got some questions, get back on the phone with us right now. Get on the phone with the team leader who invited you here, with whoever invited you here. Get your questions answered and make a decision and get signed up. As I promised in the beginning, here's our free gift for everybody who stayed on to the end. ultimategameoflife.com/power gift. ultimategameoflife.com/power gift. You can go to that link right now and you can download Jim's Financial Repair and Recovery Program. It's an amazing program. We're so thankful you stayed and watched the whole webinar with us. So go to ultimategameoflife.com/power gift. The last thing that I will ask you guys to consider is that money actually replenishes. It really does. Every single 2 weeks, you're going to get a paycheck from your job. Money replenishes. It comes like clockwork. Dun, 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 dun. If you got a job, Every 2 weeks, money replenishes. But I want to ask you something. Does your time replenish? Nope. Time does not replenish. So you never get time back in life, okay? So take money, that thing that replenishes every single 2 weeks, and invest it into something that can give you more time. Because the secret to life is actually time. It's actually having the time to do what you want to do every single day. It's actually having the time freedom to spend your life how you want it, when you want it, and doing things that inspire you and nourish you and make you excited to get out of bed and have fun and love what you're doing every single day. So my friends, money will replenish, but your time won't replenish. Put your money and resources and time and energy into power so that we can actually build you something that frees you, that changes your life, that impacts you in drastic ways. And I promise you are going to experience more passion, more purpose, and more freedom than maybe you've ever felt or experienced in your life before. So with that, thank you so much for being part of this webinar. This is a special weekend. This is the best weekend to join Power because it's Labor Day weekend. It's the weekend to commit to what is your labor going to be moving forward? Who are you going to be? What is your labor going to be? What do you want to create in your life? So thank you so much for joining us. Request the link from the person who invited you here. And with that, Matthew, is there anything you want to share in closing with everybody that you think they need to know? And specifically for all the new people who want to join us today?
Well, thanks, Jonathan. I just want to say to everybody out there, like I said before, if you do this, you won't regret it. You'll realize, just take it from us. This is going to be an incredible opportunity for you. Just have some trust and let us have that ability to help you through this. If you don't do it, you're going to look back, like I said earlier, and regret it, because you're going to see it's going to explode over the next months, years down the road. And every day people are coming in. They can either be coming in under you, or they can be coming in under somebody else. So I highly recommend you take the opportunity to sign up. I just had someone call me right now from one of the emails that I sent out earlier about an hour. I'm signing up. So that's the excitement that you're looking for, the type of people that are ready to do this. This was even his birthday, so I told him it was his birthday present. But that's the kind of excitement that you're looking for. You want to make sure that you get this word out to people, and if you're thinking about it, there's no better time to sign up now, because like Jonathan said, you never get that time back, and time is money, as you know, in the business world. So thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate the opportunity to talk to everybody.
Matthew, keep making it happen, my friend. It's an honor to work with you side by side every single day. We so appreciate you coming out here today. And everybody, again, get back to whoever referred you here today. Ask them for the link, and we cannot wait to welcome you to the Power family and help you launch the next phase of your life and business. It's Jonathan Budd signing off.